what exactly is a flipped classroom? Well, there are two types of classes, and the one that you guys are used to is a traditional classroom. And the question then becomes, what is a traditional classroom? Well, you guys already know what that is. A traditional classroom, a teacher lectures to the class, you take notes, and then you do some practice problems. At least in math class you do practice problems. And after that, you go home, you do homework, you come back, it's graded, and then you take a test and you get a grade on that. It's not necessarily the way we want to do things. A lot of people don't do very well that way, so we're actually going to try something different. We're going to try what's called the flipped classroom. And then the question, of course, is what is a flipped classroom? Why do we want to know what that is? Well, a flipped classroom, which is pretty interesting, things are done as it sounds. They're flipped. They're actually done in reverse. So rather than taking a lecture in and then practicing it and doing homework, which eats up a tremendous amount of class time, and then you have to do a lot of this difficult homework by yourself at home with no help at all, or you have to pay for a tutor, or your parents have to pay for a tutor. Instead, what you do is you view the lesson as a lecture online. I'll be giving you the website for that shortly. After you do that, you take notes on it, and rather than doing difficult homework at home with no help, you'll actually be doing the homework in class. Alright, and because the homework is done in class, you actually have a lot more opportunity to get help with it and to make sure you're doing it well. I'm sure you're tired of your teachers accepting your homework but never getting around to actually looking it over thoroughly. Alright, so that's one of the big parts. The question becomes, this isn't something I'm used to. Do I really want to be part of a flipped classroom? Is it really worth doing? Is it beneficial to me somehow that makes it worth changing what I'm used to? Well, just because you're used to something doesn't mean it's good for you. Alright, so let's take a look at what the benefits of the flipped classroom are. Alright, these are the benefits. Firstly, you could take the notes at your own pace. If you find for some reason that something that I say is a little confusing, or you can always review it with the video at your own pace to figure out what's going on. So you can also view the videos when you're absent, or if you're late, or if you go on a vacation, or if you get hurt. You can catch up on missed work and know the concepts before coming back to class. If you're late to class a lot of students are when they have this kind of class early in the day, you fall completely behind into a hole you can never get out of, and that's not good for anyone. I don't want you to fail, and you don't want to fail. There's more time for class practice, so you get to ask more questions of me about things that you're unsure of, rather than just accepting that you've fallen behind. So the whole class time is going to be spent practicing and asking questions and getting feedback on how you're doing. Alright? And feedback can be given just by doing the class problems and asking questions, but there will also be concept quizzes and things to check how your progress is going so far. And after you do well on your progress and your concept quizzes, you will actually take a regular exam. You have to qualify to take an exam in this class. There's no reason anyone should come in and take an exam if they haven't learned anything, or if they haven't shown that they can do the material. Have you ever taken a test before that you knew you were going to get a 0 on and taken it anyway? Why bother? You'll take a concept quiz, and if you show that you're prepared, hopefully the feedback from the class progress and from your concept quizzes tell you how you're doing. There's no reason everyone shouldn't pass this class and do well. Alright? Other benefits. This is college-style learning. In college, you don't get lectures all the time. Some teachers actually require you, your professors, they will actually require you to go home and read a book. They will ask you to read a section of a book and to take notes on it and be prepared to discuss it in class. It's kind of like a flipped classroom, only you read a book, which isn't much different from watching a video. The video is just a little easier, and some concepts might be easier to take through a video. Reading a book on math could be really complicated, whereas watching a video on math, you get to see how it's done. It would be much more helpful to you. So do stay tuned for the next video, which will be the start of our course.